Good morning, guys. This is going to be a completely different video than anything I've ever done before, but you guys have asked for it, so I'm going to do it. Real quick, guys, when we get started, when I reference a video, I'm going to post a picture of the thumbnail and the title right up here somewhere. If you guys want to go back and watch it, should just be able to search the title and it should come right up. I was going to post the links, but I referenced close to 70 videos in here and it just wasn't feasible. So hope that works for you guys. Today, guys, as I'm filming this, it is August 1st, 2021. Been doing YouTube just shy of 3 years. It'll be 3 years in November. I get asked all the time, man, it sure would be nice if you guys could go back and look at some of the jobs you've done in the past, see how they're holding up, see what they look like. In some cases, almost 3 years later. So that's what we're gonna do today. I need you guys to comment down below and let me know if this is something you want me to do more often or if it's something you're not interested in at all. But there's two jobs I get asked about more than any other jobs I've done. One of them is my driveway. The name of the video was Redneck Paving My Driveway. There were several videos that come out of here. And basically we hauled, man, I'd have to go back and watch the videos. I don't even remember. 400 or 500 tons of asphalt millings in here. They were actually redoing the road in front of my house, and I was able to get the millings in here. And comments were all over the board on this one. It'll never hold up. It'll never last. Should have put diesel fuel down on it. Should have done this. Should have done that. And the reality of it is, guys, it's been almost 2 years and I have not touched this road. That's what it looks like 2 years later. I'm sure you guys have seen bits and pieces of it in the videos over the years. I have not touched the actual driveway at all. Now, the parking area is a little bit of a different story. In those videos, I talked about how you need to make sure you have a good base underneath it. And if you guys remember, I had to dig out quite a bit to get my drainage right. You know, I think in one of those videos I hit my fiber optic. Actually, I know I hit my fiber optic line. And for the most part, the parking area has also held up well. But right where we dug that little trench, I got through all my old base rock. Very detailed explanation of the drainage in that video. And in the springtime, when the moisture's up in the ground, it has got a little bit pumpy through there. You can almost see it right there. Would I do it again? Absolutely. It's been day and night difference compared to the gravel driveway versus the asphalt driveway. I think I spent $2,700 material wise to do all this. I would do it again absolutely in a heartbeat. Now, we're going to talk about a bunch of different videos and a bunch of different jobs. I am not going to have the time to link all these in the descriptions. I'm going to try to get the names of them right. If you guys want to go back on the channel and search them, I would highly encourage that if you're not familiar with the job. But let's head on down the road. The other job I get asked about regularly is Grandma's house. The foundation we put in down at Grandma's house, and I promise you at some point today, we will swing by there and check it out. So let's hop in the Jeep and hit the road. Alrighty, we're going to try to catch a couple here with one single drone flight. This lot we're heading to here, guys, we've actually been in here and done quite a bit of work. We excavated the crawl space, put some drain lines in and stuff. I have not recorded anything up to this point. This is an ICF job that Matt and his crew kind of took over from me because I didn't have time. But don't worry, we will be back at this site at some point to do some yard excavating and a few other things. So stay tuned for that. It'll be coming up. Another little random fun fact, this house off to the left right here, that's one of the houses we built almost 15 years ago under Simon Harris construction banner and actually won an international award for it back in the day. So that was one of our first big houses we built, still standing, still looking strong. As we fly down over the hill here, I'm going to pan down just a little bit. This is the job we did back this spring when we had a bunch of river flooding. We'd clear it out for the view. I actually did a live stream here. As you guys can see, it's been kind of a rough season for the grass to grow. The grass hasn't quite come in as well as what we'd like, but for the most part, it still looks pretty good. And the main thing is the customer is still very pleased with it. So we're going to drop down over the hill here a little bit, guys, and we're heading towards the Farmer Chris field. This is actually where there were several videos that come out of here. The first video on this series was removing the dangerous trees with the 120. A couple running tile and pushing trees off with the 850. And you can see a few holes in the field. That's actually Chris planted this in a very wet condition and actually raised the planter up and had a few skips there. But If you guys watch those videos, it's amazing this field has corn in it at all. And then on top of that, you guys can see this corn looks pretty good, especially if you look off to the left and compare it to the neighbor's corn where he's been planting over there for years. Chris has got a really good crop going in this field. It would not be possible without all the work we did with the field tile and everything. So he's very, very pleased with this. We may be back next spring to kind of tweak little things a little bit in these wet spots. Chris's philosophy on it at this point, so we're just going to kind of wait and see what it looks like at harvest and early next spring. But for the most part, that one there was an absolute huge success. It's one of the fields that I would have lost the bet on whether or not he was going to get it planted. And by golly, he got her planted. You see the corn there. All right, on to the next one. So if you guys remember this job, we come in here with the 120 D4G, cleared all the trees off the bank up there, and leveled out for the building pad here. You can actually see the barn is up. This is the one where we had to fight the huge rock. The huge rock was right in the middle of this building. All these rocks here we dug out of the bank and laid up here as a little bit of a retainer, but I think this one fit in here pretty good, Mr. Millennial.
I think it fit in here great.
The main thing was you wanted enough room between here and the building to drive a truck through. I think I could get the semi through there, so yep. That's a success. The one thing that we didn't video on this job, we did actually install a septic here. We're actually back here this morning. We had just a small little area settle. Got it touched up, but septic field's right there. Grass is growing. Everything looks pretty good, man. Everything looks pretty good. We'll get you one quick little view from down below here, so you guys can kind of see what she all looks like. But this job definitely turned out very nice. They got a little bit of landscaping to do and some finishing touches to put on everything, but fit in there nice. Hill all looks good. The little bit of a disturbance is actually where they ran the water line. The one on the upper hill is where they ran the electric line. We did not do that. I guess the utility contractors did that, but everything we did looks awesome and holding up good. So on to the next one. All right, so this was the field where the thumbnail was me actually wearing a full face mask / respirator coming across the field. And we took out some trees that were kind of clumped up out there in the middle. And if I stop the video right in here, you can actually kind of see where we were at. That big skip right there is actually where I didn't quite have it contoured perfectly for Chris. But the area he was able to plant versus the area he wasn't able to plant previously, you guys can kind of see from the circles drawn here, is quite the improvement. But check out the stand of corn Chris has got in the rest of this field. If you guys are farmers and know what you're looking at, you can tell a few things. One, he's got the section control and his planter pretty much dialed in. Somebody got a little bit drunk driving the sprayer, and he still plants this old school with markers versus GPS. But all in all, this is probably one of his better looking stands of corn. He's definitely got it figured out in this field. I believe he planted this within an hour and a half or 2 hours after I removed those trees. He was right behind me, but it turned out good. Chris said basically next year he'll get the nutrients right, get that area disked a little bit, and you'll never even know he was in there. So with that being said, we're going to hop back in the Jeep and head on down the road. So this job here, guys, was done almost 2 years ago. It generated a lot of comments. This is actually what we call the stacking cube blocks. We come in here at the 120, skid steer stacked it once. That was one video. We come back and actually restacked it because it had moved a little bit. And then the third video out of here was actually pouring this cap. But this is a perfect example of what these cubes can look like if they're properly finished. This is a very, very affordable, effective retaining wall. This job here is about 2 years old now. There is some videos on doing this. This job here is about 2 years old. It is holding up absolutely awesome. No issues with it whatsoever. Got the landscaping in there. Backside is finished. Front side's all finished and ties into the house. This was definitely a fun little project. Some cool videos, and as you guys can see, I think it still looks absolutely awesome almost 2 years later. All right, guys, we'll take it back to the air on this one here as we fly up on this little pond right here. This video here, I believe, is close to 2 years old as well. This was the Let's Dig 18 style repair. And if you guys remember from that video, this pond was 2/3 of the way dry. A previous contractor had come in and work on it without much luck. And we ended up coming in, there was actually a sinkhole in the dam, so we had a pretty good indication of where the leak was at. It was kind of right here by this tree. We excavated that out with a 120, actually went down the field here to the right grab some dirt and pack the clay back in there. And this is the second summer on this family using this pond, and as you guys can see from the dock out in the middle and everything, it is full. It has stayed full. This one here has held very, very well. Had no issues with it whatsoever. So that was definitely a successful repair on that. As we jump just across the road over here, this is also where a series of videos come out with Paul. Right there by that little bit of yellow shed, we removed a cistern. That was one. And then as we kind of pan around to the right here in this back area, several videos of removing a pond and turning it back into yard. Again, I believe these were about 2 years ago. 2 years ago as well. And if you look close, you can kind of see where it used to be there. We're actually in a little bit of a dry spell right here, so that shows up a little bit more significant. But for the most part, guys, it has it looks pretty good. If you guys go back and watch those videos, it was a mess before, and it is definitely mowable, usable, and manageable yard at this point. If you guys get a chance to go watch these videos, the homeowner on this one, Paul, he was a lot of fun. He kept giving me grades on my my job I was doing, so I love getting the homeowners involved in what we're doing. But that's going to be a wrap on this one. Let's hit the ground and check out the next one. Alrighty, who remembers this video? This is probably one of my favorite videos I ever filmed. I don't know why, and I think it turned out absolutely awesome, but this was the redneck pile driving video. This video was done probably right about a year ago. As you guys can see, the homeowner has got his beams out there for his dock, but he's yet to get the dock set, but he was very impressed with how straight and square we drove everything, so that is good. Same time we were here, we also redid the top of the dam, put the new overflow in. Grass is back, overflow's good. It's holding up nice. Looks really nice. So yeah, that's the update on this one. This was a fun little project. If you guys haven't seen the redneck pile driving video, be sure you go check it out. I think you'll like it. All right, guys, as we fly down into this next one, some of you guys may remember this as the emergency dam repair job. And unfortunately, as you guys will see as we fly in here, this one does not currently have a happy ending. Not 100% for sure what's going on with this. We did not build this lake. Another individual built the lake. We've kind of inherited the problem. The dam slipped last winter. We rebuilt it last summer. It held for about 6 or 8 months. And then it has recently slipped again as the ponds continue to fill up. So I think at this point, we're going to have to just dig down there and find out what's going on. But as we fly up here, you'll actually see the new 850 is sitting on the job. This is a project we're getting ready to start back in on. So guys, stay tuned to see what we find out and how we go about repairing this one a second time around. The first set of repairs, we kind of did a stair-step compaction process, covered that very well in the videos. I'm not 100% for sure how we're going to go about it this time. We're going to kind of start digging into it and see what we got, but I'm sure it'll make some awesome videos, so hopefully you guys will stay tuned for that. We'll see what happens, and hopefully the old saying, third time's a charm, proves to be true. Fancy seeing you here this morning.
Yeah, I know it. I just showed up. Eventful morning.
Well, first off, let's talk about your shirt.
Let's talk about that shirt. I like it so much, I went ahead and ordered 3 more, so I got 4 work shirts now.
The question is, should we start selling them on the website or not?
Hey, I mean, I don't know if everybody could be almost start perfect like me, but
oh
hey.
My God. Folks, I had nothing to do with this. This is all him. All him. All right, where are we at?
All right. Do you remember where you're at?
I know exactly where I'm at.
Do you remember being here? Yeah.
I do. This was a fun video. This is a real fun video. You know why this is a fun video? Because I had
2 beep beeps that I was working with.
Because I actually let Aaron's dad run the Volvo for a while. I sat back and watched, and it was hilarious.
So you got to see what you do to me on the other.
But it also made you appreciate me, didn't it?
A little bit. He ain't listening. So.
All right, so we are up here at Aaron's camp. What do you call this place?
Rock Dynasty.
Rock Dynasty. Yep. And basically, you and most of your siblings have camps up here.
Yep.
Or cabins, I should say. And the last one we put in was for No Joke Johnny Poke.
Yes, it is.
Because if people don't know, your brother is a professional wrestler.
Professional wrestler, yeah.
And how's that feel to say my brother's a professional wrestler?
I'm a professional YouTuber.
Really. Almost. All right, guys, in all seriousness, we were up here And basically what we did was, this was, if you guys go back and watch the video, there's a little bit of a flat spot here, but not much. We dug these rocks out of the bank. Actually, Aaron and his dad dug most of them out. I just did the finishing touches. Built this little bit of a retaining wall here, re-sloped the back slope there so they can get in and out. And, well, bam, we got a cabin nowadays.
Yes, it is in. All we got left to do is the
When did we
underpinning.
do this? It was about a year ago, wasn't it? Last summer.
No, it was going into the fall.
Not quite a year ago.
Not quite a year ago, yeah. Yeah, not quite a year ago.
And
We
they
got the
just,
cabin in, what, about 3 months ago?
yeah, I was gonna say the
Yes,
cabin
3 months
hasn't
ago.
been here
It ain't
too
been
long,
here
but
that long, so.
it fit in here nice. That's other brother's cabin up there, and then Aaron's cabin is over yonder, and then parents have got the camper over there. You guys got a nice place.
Yeah, it's coming
Now-
along, it's coming along.
Now, if I remember right, the same time we were up here doing this, we were doing some work for the neighbor over there,
Yes, we were.
and that was a disaster.
That equipment was going down quick.
You want to go trespassing and check it out?
I think we need to.
Let's go do it. All right, if you guys recognize this job, this is the job we probably struggled on. This is the biggest struggle bus job I can remember ever having.
Yeah.
Everything from the chainsaw. So the chainsaw broke, both excavators went down, the Volvo and the 120. The skid steer went down, the windshield got busted out of the track hoe. Yeah,
Yep.
it was a bad job, but almost a year later, it looks awesome.
Yeah, I remember that quite well. We go to get the Volvo and we had to change a hydraulic line right off the bat.
Yeah, before we could even haul it here.
Yeah.
It's up at Cleveland's house. So if you guys go back and watch, like I said, there's a whole series of videos out of here. This was all a wooded, washed out area.
Big valley.
Pretty deep valley. And we come in here and catch, man, that catch basin still looking
Yeah,
awesome.
Looks good.
Riprap all looks good. Now, this is the video where we got hundreds of comments that we put the pipe in backwards.
Oh, that's right.
And it wasn't
Yeah,
gonna
I remember
last the
that.
first rain. First rain is gonna be all washed out and done. Man, it looks fine.
It does. It does.
It looks fine. It works
Don't
just
see no
fine.
problems.
I can't believe it. I can't believe it. This turned out absolutely awesome. We catch basin looks good. You guys go down through here. They have it's been a brutal summer here as far as getting some seeding and straw going. I guess they could maybe use a little bit of topsoil right through here, but it still don't look horrible compared to what it was. It
Right
looks-
about here, there's about a 6-foot hole.
oh yeah, man, that great big tree was there.
And it was just a big hole under it.
And man, look at the riprap. It still looks awesome. I don't know who did this job. They sure did a good job.
Thank you.
Look at that.
Oh,
Look at
well,
that.
let's rip that right down here for you.
That looks sharp. Pipe still comes out right down there. Perfect.
Yes, it is.
This is a fun job, even though it was a real pain in the butt.
Yeah, it was.
So,
I enjoyed it.
yeah, you didn't have to pay the repair bills.
No, I didn't.
But there's what she looks like, guys. There's I'll try to remember the names of all these. I know this job was done right after we got the 120 going. Just like the second job the 120 was on.
Yeah.
Final drive went out. Then we got the Volvo in here, and I was all kinds of mad because the Volvo wouldn't pick up a rock the 120 moved. There's a lot of good videos coming out here.
Yeah,
So,
there was.
right.
And I could just watch them gray hairs growing as everything was
yeah.
breaking down.
It was, yeah, if you guys are looking for some good videos and you haven't seen them yet, go check that one out. But we're going to head on down to, I think we're going to head to Troy and check out Grandma's. That's the next stop. Alrighty, this is probably the project I get the most requests for an update on. I apologize, there was not more videos that came out of here, but we basically did the demo work and we put the foundation in. Other contractors took over from there. But this is Grandma's project, and as you guys can see, I think it turned out absolutely fabulous. There was a fence here, fence there. Man, you guys just have to go back and watch the videos. We fought getting out a huge TV antenna. A lot of demo work on this job. We actually had to rent a small excavator with a hammer on it. We come back and put in the ICF foundation around there for the other contractors, and that's pretty much where our work stopped. One thing that did happen after we left is they did go ahead and demo out the remainder of this pad here and poured some stamped concrete back. They got them a nice little ramp built. Go inside here and check it out. This is the sunroom area, sitting area here. There's the old door coming out of the house. It all trimmed out very nice. Gives Grandma and Grandpa a place to sit and kind of look back out the back area there, and then this area over here was the smaller area where the hot tub went. See, Grandma's got her hot tub tucked away in here. Nice and neat. Turned out very, very nice. They're very happy with it. Very happy with it. So there's the update on that one. On to the next one. So this is a job we did last spring, guys. Several videos come out of this one here. This was kind of a combination job between Farmer Chris and the landowner. We actually had the Hyundai HX 145 on this job. One of the big projects was we put a new overflow pipe and raised the level of the dam here. You can kind of just barely see the streak going down the dam, but that has healed up very nicely. But the larger project, this was last year's large tiling project. We put close to 8,000 feet of field tile in here, and you guys kind of see a few blank spots in the field. Most of those are from what they call voles. It's basically a little rodent that goes and actually eats the seed. If you look past that and look very closely, you can just kind of see the little hints of those dams. Greatly improved this, greatly improved the productivity and the efficiency of this field for Farmer Chris. And it's this is his second year farming it. It was corn last year, and it's beans this year. Definitely a huge improvement. But if I pan off, you can kind of see this field here does not have the dry dams in this system in place. You guys can see those grass waterways he has to leave and how much area he actually loses from farming. Fun fact about that field is that's actually where Farmer Chris got the combine stuck, and we had to go rescue him and pull him out. But one other quick thing I want to show you guys, always wonder why we do all this work for Farmer Chris and tiling. While I was out driving around, this is actually a field Chris has on the list of tile we have not got to, but this video here shows exactly why we put tile in. These big bald spots in the field are basically caused by wet spots that are not drained properly, and this is why we go in and install these tiles for Chris. And then you can kind of see over here in this area where we got some erosion happening here. That's another reason why we put all these dry dams in, to kind of help control over that. So just kind of an example of what we're trying to accomplish whenever we do all this work. It shows up a little bit better here from the sky. So, Mr. Millennial,
NY Millennial,
you want to tell everybody where we're at today?
We are at the site in which we poured an ICF basement, and as my viewers have seen on my channel, where I have quoted a potential pond and dug some test holes.
Hold on, wait a minute.
So it's all together.
Well, do you remember the name of the videos that come off this site?
Your name of video? No.
I do remember one of them was called Pouring a 12-Corner Basement.
Yep. And then there was something about rookie operator.
Oh yeah, this was the rookie dozer operator one, wasn't it? That was right over there.
Very first time ever.
So this is a job we did the last November, I believe it was, wasn't it?
Supposed to be August, ended up November.
Yeah, ended up November.
Right, that's right.
That was a whole nother story, but yeah, this was one of the last large ICF basements we put in last fall. I believe it was a 12-corner basement. We come back, poured some porch footers, poured the garage foundation, hauled a lot of dirt in around the front and compacted it in. That all seems to be holding up really well. Building a house in the pandemic era, they have been waiting on stuff. I think they just got their front door and some of their siding a couple days ago. Gable siding. But as you guys can see, it has come together. The house looks sharp and they are moved in. Septic looks good. Everything seems to be working well. As Matt mentioned, we have come down here. I think Matt's got a video on your channel about digging test holes, don't you?
Digging test pond quote / digging test holes.
So Matt, before the Hyundai machine disappeared, Matt come down here with it and dug several test holes out here in this field to see two things. They're wanting to take a little bit more dirt and get it up around the house, fill in a little bit, get some get some sidewalks in there, and possibly build a lake / pond out here. So we dug some test holes. We've got for some information. We were actually out here today kind of looking it all over, seeing how big a body of water we can get and how deep.
No, be truthful. What we're here is you're making sure that I quoted it right.
Well, that's true. But we're thinking we can go about 11 feet deep, about 1.5 acres of water, have enough dirt for the levee, have enough dirt for the house. You guys have to stay tuned for that. But the house turned out good. Septic's working good. I'll have to say this one's a win, don't you?
I agree.
All right, on to the next one. This just might be the job where my YouTube career actually got a little jump start and took off. I don't know how many videos have come out working on this piece of property. Way back in the beginning, back a couple years ago, I guess, this was all pretty much woods. Got a lot of videos going in and clearing out the woods. This is where I took the Mac through the field in about 6 gears trying to make it. Didn't quite make it. Threw the track off the excavator, the old John Deere 120 back in the day. But most recently, the videos that have come out of here was filling in this pond here where you see the big circle. And even more notably, as we fly back here along the woods, is where I've got the dozer stuck 3 times in one day, and Farmer Chris had to come to the rescue and pull me out. A lot of guys commented on that video that it'll be years before Farmer Chris can ever get this planted back here. It's going to be too soft, and it's hard to tell from the contrast of the ground, but if you guys look close, Farmer Chris planted straight on through there about 2 months after we got this done. Yes, there is beans right there where the pond used to be. Keep in mind that ground is not going to be quite as fertile as the rest of the field, but Chris assures me that after a year of fertilization and working it just a little bit, it won't be any different than the rest of the field, and he'll be pretty good off. As we pan off to the right here a little bit, if you guys remember, we also put some field tile in this field because he had some of those large bare spots from the wet areas. If you look real close, you can just kind of barely see the green streaks through the field, but more notably, there is no bare spots. So all the field tile we installed in this field is working absolutely awesome. Like I said, I don't know how many videos have come out of this job over the last couple of years. We've been here a few times, but this has actually turned into some of the more productive land for Chris. And you never would have guessed it if you watched some of those earlier videos. It has come a very long way. This is actually the first year it's been planted in beans. The previous 2 years, this is the third season on it. The previous 2 years it was planted in corn and yielded very well there. From a different angle you can kind of see the beans going through the other pond there. That one there was pretty solid. It was the one down over the hill that was a little bit on the soft side, but looks good, guys. Everything here looks good. Chris is pleased with it. Crops are growing, and we're gonna fly on out of here and head on to the next one. This is the retaining wall job we did last summer. Several videos come out of here. One of the big things you guys may remember is we were fighting a bunch of uneven blocks. See all the spacers and the washers we got in there? Homeowner actually got called back into service, I believe. So he's not been around to do anything. It looks the exact same it did whenever we left it, which I guess is a good thing. Nothing's settled, nothing's out of place. Everything looks pretty good. The intentions are still to come back, pour a cap on it, put some railing on it, and a few different finishing touches. One of the big challenges of this job, if you guys remember, was trying to save the old driveway. And it's not in good shape by any means, but it's in no worse shape than what it was whenever we originally started. So that's definitely a good thing. But a lot of comments on this video about how narrow it was. That thing, I believe, it's almost 11 or 12 foot wide. Camera don't do a whole lot of justice on the width of stuff, but it is definitely plenty wide to be functional. I'm pretty sure that's a 10-foot garage door, so got plenty of room to get a car in there, get your doors open, and get out. So that's what she looks like today. This is the cedar tree clearing job we did this spring for Farmer Chris. I think the videos, this is the first time we had the 120 and 140 working together on the same job. If you guys remember from those videos, Jerry was on the 850 and he was a man on a mission. He was absolutely murdering cedar trees with that thing. But it wasn't completely covered in trees, but they were pretty scattered out, and this was pretty much a one-day job. We went in here, plucked all these cedar trees out, cleaned up that back fence line there, and this was supposed to be planted in corn. Chris got a little bit late in the season and it got switched over to beans, and as you guys can see, he's got a pretty good crop started here, so I think this is going to work out pretty good for him. Be kind of curious to see what the yields are here at the end of the year, but this is a new field for him, a new farm for him, and cleaned up pretty nice. Landowner's happy with it, he's happy with it. Crop looks good, and I'm sure we'll be back tweaking a few things in the future after he kind of sees what he's got, but for now, it's definitely a win. Still getting a lot of comments on this video, guys, on how well this actually held up. We actually had the Hyundai HX 145 down here whenever I was demoing it, and set these blocks in here. The creek bank was washed back almost to the road. It's got a little bit of a crook in it right there, And we come in here and staggered these blocks back, set them in here. It's been almost 2 years since we've done this, and as you guys can see, it's held up magnificent. It looks absolutely awesome. You can tell by that tree right there how high the water has actually got here recently, which is almost to the top of those blocks. And looks good. Looks good. Looks like this plan here worked out very, very, very well. So on the next one. So this was the largest job we did for Farmer Chris this spring. We did a little bit of everything here, from field tile to dry dams to fence row clearing to tree removal. There was a lot of videos filmed here, one being the trenching bucket versus the 2-foot bucket. Some of the better videos was Jerry was running the Volvo on this particular job, clearing out some fence lines. And then the best video, in my opinion, was the one where we were actually removing the trees with the 120 and Jerry on the 850 kind of wrestling around in some mud and some soft ground. This field is not perfect. I believe it's the last field Chris actually planted. He's got some weeds he's trying to get under control and a few holes there in the field. But man, if you guys go back and look at those other videos and see how much it opened up, I think once given a year or two, this is going to heal up pretty nice and be a pretty good piece of property for him. It's crazy how much he was able to actually farm around those fingers that come out of there. You guys can kind of see where the trees are removed from there. He got the majority of it. Ironically, the most common comment on these videos was, "What's the big white tower in the background?" This is the Patoka Lake Regional Water Tower. And basically what they do is they take water out of Patoka Lake, pump it into this tower, and it provides two things: storage and water pressure for all the rural communities around here. I don't know for sure how many members is on this tower or Patoka Lake in general, but it is quite a few, and they do a pretty good job of upkeeping everything and keeping us well supplied out here in the county. But this farm here is not perfect. Chris has still got a few little rough edges to polish off and get his fertilization back in the areas we disturbed, but give him a year or two, and this is going to probably be one of his better farms, I believe. All right, rolled into the lot down here. I just wanted to kind of catch you guys up a little bit on some of the shop videos and repairs and how they've all been holding up. We'll start here with the Mac. I guess it was 2 years ago. Man, time gets away from me. But there's a lot of videos. We completely rebuilt the whole rear suspension on this truck. Bushings, elephant pads, shocks, the whole 9 yards. That has all been holding up absolutely awesome. We haven't had a minute's trouble out of any of that work we did. No issues whatsoever. The same time we did that, we also pulled the stacks off the truck, repainted them, and fixed an exhaust leak. It's held up pretty good for the most part. Still having some issues with this high temp paint. We sandblasted these, tried to prep them. It's not horrible, but that'd be the only downfall of that work. It just hasn't quite held up as much as I'd like for it to. But other than that, the truck's been doing awesome. That's a pretty nitpicking little adventure. A more recent video, we reworked the fifth wheel, put the new cross member in the frame for the new lowboy trailer. That's all been working excellent. I haven't had any issues with that whatsoever. Don't worry, video on the building is coming, I promise. The loader, that was a cool video. If you guys remember or not, we had the loader kept losing transmission pressure. It wouldn't drive. Pulled it in the shop with an old mechanic here in town by the name of Bill. Pulled the valve body out of it. We found the smallest little speck of dirt that was stuck in an orifice in the valve body. I think it was like a $2 part. And got that thing up and going again. I can't believe, I'm trying to remember some of these videos. If I can remember all these, post a name to them. I apologize, they all run together. Over the years, the Kubota, you've seen many repair videos on that. Tracks are holding up good. All the engine repairs we have made in the past seems to be holding up pretty well. Just waiting to see what happens next. You know how the Kubota goes. Super Sticks over there, it needs a little bit of work. The cylinder on it is leaking pretty good, but it's still sitting over there. There's the grader attachment, the controls we built for the grader attachment in the Kubota. They still work. Absolutely awesome, to be honest with you. Auger attachment, you guys will see this thing finally in action in the building over there. We built that thing, the job I built it for fell through. Has been used a couple other times by some other people, but I finally got to use it the other day. It worked awesome. There is some videos way back in the day of working on this truck. They're some of my first videos, to be honest with you. And we actually had to put new springs on this. You still see the sticker up there, actually. Put some new springs on this. They were both broke on both sides. Had no issues with that. All that work's held up really well. Aaron and I also did a bunch of work on this bed back in the day. Worked on the tailgate and a few other things. Our work has held up well, but the bed needs more work. Honestly, this used to be a salt truck. The truck's in good shape. The bed is rough. The bed is rough. So I'm waiting to get Lieutenant Dan going. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this bed on this truck. I think I've mentioned it a few times in some other videos. I don't know if I'm going to keep it, sell it, or what. So this is kind of in a holding pattern for right now. But long story short, update. Springs are doing good. The repairs we made on the bed are holding up, but it needs more repairs. Not really much to update on the D4G. We've had some random repairs here and there. It's been a pretty good, solid machine. 2 years ago, actually it may have been close to 3 years ago now. Some of my early videos, we did a bunch of work to this 850. This is the old 850B. Most of it involved reworking this blade, welding on those balls, welding up here. We redid all these back here. I don't know if you guys can see, but it is held up awesome. Honestly, I think it's been 2 years ago. I'll have to go back and look at the videos, but ever since we got this machine out of the shop, I think it's had 1 or 2 blowed hoses. I mean, it has been, knock on something, it has been an awesome machine, which is the main reason why I'm keeping it around to partner up with the other one. It's closing in on 12,000 hours, so it's no spring chicken no more. But it's been a good machine. All the repairs we made to it have worked absolutely awesome. I'm trying to remember what else big projects we've had through the shop. The lowboy trailer, the other lowboy trailer, we completely rebuilt the rear end of it. It's been working good. We've been using it all summer. No issues whatsoever. I'm sure there's a lot of things that went through the shop that I'm missing. The water line plow that we built, it's down here somewhere. It's over there. You guys seen it in the previous video, the other video. It's working good. But yeah, we haven't had a lot of repeat shop work. Most of our repairs have held up very well. If they haven't held up, you've seen them back in the shop on other videos. So let's head back out and check on some Farmer Chris properties. So this is the last field we did for Farmer Chris with tile. I believe this is the last of the corn he planted this year. You guys can see it's not quite as tall as some of the other corn we've seen. And this is where we come in here. This is the field that, the fact that this thing actually has corn in it amazes me. The part that the corn actually looks halfway decent is nothing short of a miracle. I don't know if you guys remember this job when we showed up, but it was a muddy slough. Chris has tried to farm this the last 3 years. The first year he tried to farm it, he got the tractor stuck out there, and I think they gave up on it. They may have planted a little bit up here on the high ground. Last year when they tried to farm it, I believe they did get it planted. Then we had a very wet summer and fall, and most of it flooded out. They didn't like get anything off of it. And this year, I think he's gonna be all right. This is a good investment on his part here, I believe. I can't believe it. I can't believe there's corn in this field. I can't believe that it actually looks halfway decent. It's not flawless. There's just some spots out there it's a little bit thin. Looks like it still may have got some water damage. After he planted this, we got a tremendous amount of rain again, and it took a little while to drain out, but it did dry up. But this is one of the dry dams here. You guys can see it's held water. The water's went out. It's never went over. All the other ones down through there, I checked on the way in. They're about the same. Everything seems to be holding up pretty good. Crop don't look too bad for a late corn plant in some wet ground. And I would have lost this bet for sure. I would have lost this bet for sure. All right, guys, we are going back. We are going way back on this one. This is the second video I ever filmed, was right here. It's called Save the Bridge. I don't know what's more impressive after 3 years. The bridge is still here, or my YouTube career actually took off, but there it is. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and wrap this video up right here. I don't want to drag this on for too long, but I am curious about a few things, and I would like your guys' input. First off, did you enjoy this style video? Is this something you'd like to maybe see me do on an annual basis? If so, let me know. Comment down below. I'll do my best to keep up on that. This video was a lot of work, I'm not going to lie, but if you guys appreciate it and enjoy it, I'll do my best to continue the series and keep it going. Also kind of curious, like, was there a job that surprised you that held up, or a job that surprised you that didn't hold up? Just kind of curious what your guys' thoughts were going back and looking at some of these jobs. I know somebody's going to call me out on this, so I'm going to go ahead and say it. Keep in mind, whenever I say a job was 2 years ago, and I post a little thing, and YouTube says it was 1 year ago, if that video is 1 day shy of 2 years old, YouTube's going to call it a 1-year-old video, and I'm going off the time the job was completed, which was probably close to 2 months before the actual published date. So hopefully that makes sense. I think I'm pretty close on all of my dates, but I may be off on one or two. I'm not perfect by no stretch of the imagination. I also get a lot of requests for different style videos. The one that comes to mind a lot is an equipment tour. I did do a shop tour video, I did an attachments video, but I never did an equipment video. So if you guys would like to see an equipment video, or if you guys would like to see a video on another topic, let me know. Comment down below. I'll do my best to accommodate it. But hopefully you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like the video. It does help out the channel. You want to make sure you don't miss the next video, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And as always, guys, we'll catch you on the next one.